AITA for not letting my parents be grandparents after they chose my bully over me? I, 28F, have a daughter who just turned 2. Becoming a mom has been the happiest thing in my life, but it's also brought up a lot of old wounds, especially around my parents. Growing up, my biggest bully wasn't a random kid at school. It was my cousin Kara. Kara, now 29F, lived 2 streets over, and our families were super close. The problem was that Kara was cruel to me from the time we were about 7 until we were teenagers. She'd make fun of my weight, my clothes, the fact that I had asthma, and even spread rumors about me being weird or ugly. It wasn't harmless kid stuff. She had the whole neighborhood making fun of me at one point. Whenever I'd complain or cry to my parents, they'd say things like, "Oh, Kara doesn't mean it. She's just joking," or "You need to toughen up. Not everyone's going to like you." Meanwhile, they'd bend over backwards to include Kara in everything. Vacations, Christmas mornings, even my birthday parties somehow became about her. If I didn't want to invite her, my parents would guilt-trip me about family unity. By high school, I gave up complaining because it was clear my parents had chosen Kara over me. She could do no wrong, and if I ever pushed back, I was the dramatic, jealous one. Fast forward, I went low contact with Kara after college, then eventually no contact after a huge blow-up where she mocked me at a family wedding. My parents still talk to her constantly, visit her, babysit her kids, the whole 9 yards. Now that I have my daughter, my parents keep pushing to finally be grandparents. But honestly, I don't trust them. They've shown me over and over that Kara's comfort comes before mine, and I'll be damned if I let my child grow up in the same dynamic where she's second best to Kara's kids. I told them recently that until they acknowledge the damage they caused by enabling Kara's bullying and actually apologize, they won't be seeing my daughter. They called me cruel, selfish, and accused me of weaponizing their grandchild. My mom even said, "We made mistakes, but you can't punish us forever." She's our granddaughter too. Now some extended family is piling on, saying I'm being bitter and using my kid as leverage. My husband supports me, but I can't lie, sometimes I wonder if I'm taking it too far. So, am I the a-hole for not letting my parents be grandparents after they chose my bully over me? After that conversation, things escalated quickly. My parents started showing up at my house uninvited. Not in a scary way, but in this guilt-trippy, we just want to see our granddaughter way. One time, I was literally sitting on the couch in pajamas feeding my daughter when I saw them pull up. My dad texted from the driveway, "We're here. Bring her out to say hi." I didn't open the door. They didn't like that. Next family gathering, which I skipped, I apparently got roasted. Kara told everyone that I was jealous she's the favorite and keeping my parents' only grandchild away as revenge. First off, not true. They have her kids around all the time. Second, it stung because she said it in a way that got my aunts and uncles nodding along, like she was the voice of reason. Then the calls started. My aunt, my mom's sister, called and said, "You can't erase people from your daughter's life just because you're holding grudges. You're making things harder than they need to be." When I told her Kara bullied me for over a decade, she just sighed and said, "Kids are mean, but you turned out fine." That line wrecked me more than I expected. I turned out fine? I had years of self-esteem issues, disordered eating, and social anxiety because of how Kara treated me and how my parents let it slide. I spent therapy sessions untangling how my own parents made me feel like a nuisance instead of their child. But to the family? It's all water under the bridge. The only person firmly in my corner is my husband. He keeps reminding me that it's not about revenge, it's about protection. If my parents couldn't stand up for me, why would they suddenly stand up for my daughter when Kara inevitably compares or belittles her? My mom texted me again last week, "We're getting older. Don't let your pride rob us of being grandparents." I didn't answer. But now I feel like the cold-hearted daughter in the family narrative, and it's exhausting. Things came to a head around my daughter's 2nd birthday. My husband and I planned a small party at our house, just a few close friends, his side of the family, and some neighbors with kids her age. Nothing big, just cake, balloons, and a bubble machine in the backyard. Well, somehow my parents found out. I hadn't told them the date because I knew what would happen. Sure enough, the morning of the party, my mom called me, "We'll be there around 2. Do you need me to bring anything?" I froze. I hadn't invited them. I told her calmly, "This is a small party. You're not invited this time." Cue meltdown. She started crying on the phone, saying things like, "You're really doing this to us?" To her grandparents. Then my dad got on the phone and snapped, "You're punishing us for something that happened decades ago. Don't you think it's time to grow up?" I held my ground. I said, "This isn't punishment. It's about boundaries. I don't trust you to put my daughter first when you never put me first. Until you can own that, nothing changes." And then I hung up. We had the party without them. It was honestly perfect, no tension, no drama, just pure fun for my little girl. But of course, the fallout came fast. That night, my Facebook was blowing up with passive-aggressive posts from Kara. Stuff like, some people love to play the victim, but forget who was there for them growing up, and children shouldn't be pawns in adult grudges. Extended family members started liking and commenting things like, preach, and so true. Then my mom sent me this long email. She said she and my dad were done begging, and that when my daughter grows up and asks why her grandparents weren't around, you can explain to her that it was your pride and stubbornness that robbed her of us. I won't lie, that cut deep. For a few days, I almost caved. I thought, maybe I am too harsh, maybe my daughter deserves grandparents even if they're flawed. But then I remembered 12-year-old me, sobbing in my room because Kara had humiliated me in front of everyone again, while my parents told me to stop being sensitive. I swore I'd never let my kid feel that small or that unseen. And I realized if letting my parents in means exposing my daughter to the same cycle, then no, it's not worth it. After the birthday fiasco, I decided I needed space. I blocked my parents on social media, muted Kara, and told my extended family that unless they could respect my boundaries, I wasn't engaging in the family drama. At first, the silence was blissful. No more guilt texts, no more per us phone calls. Just me, my husband, and our daughter living peacefully. But of course, it didn't last long. A few weeks later, my dad showed up at my house. Alone, no warning. He stood on my porch holding a bag of toys and said, "I just want to see my granddaughter. Please don't shut us out." I let him stand there. My husband answered the door and told him calmly, "We've explained what needs to happen. Until you can acknowledge what she went through and stop dismissing it, you don't get access. It's that simple." My dad got red-faced and muttered, "You're poisoning her against us." Then he walked off, leaving the toys on the porch. We donated them the next day. A month later, I got an email from my mom. It was different. No guilt-tripping, no blaming. Just a short message. "I've been thinking a lot. I can't change the past, but I want to understand. If you're willing, can we talk? Just you and me. No excuses, no defending Kara. I want to hear you." I didn't answer right away. Honestly, I still don't know if I will. Because here's the thing, for the first time in my life, I'm not desperate for their approval. I don't need them to validate me. I already have everything I wanted growing up, a family that chooses me. My husband loves me. My daughter lights up when I walk into the room. That's enough. So maybe one day I'll sit down with my mom. Maybe one day they'll actually own up to what they allowed. But until then, my daughter comes first. And if that makes me the villain in my family story, then so be it. Because I'd rather be the villain to them than let my kid ever feel like I did second best in her own family. If this story kept you hooked, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more.